Ida for not going along with my wife's friend's stereotypes? Fiction. I don't know who I'm kidding. I was kind of an asshole. I've managed to dig myself into a little bit of a hole, and I'm looking for help to try to get myself out of it. Some background. I have been happily married to my wife for the last 23 years. When we met, she was a school teacher, and I had been in the military for almost 8 years. 12 years ago, the military put us in a position, a series of shitty transfers, that it made sense for her to resign from her job to follow me around and take care of the children. Earlier this year, I finally retired, and now we are in our late 40s. One kid out of the house with another almost on their own, and we are living our best life. My wife has a good friend, Gretchen, who is a Sayum and lives close by. Kids are middle school to high school age. Before I retired, I knew that Gretchen was frequently at our house and my wife over hers, but the amount of time they spent together didn't really register with me. I don't mind having her around one bit. I generally keep myself pretty busy, catching up on almost 30 years of postponed hobbies and projects. Gretchen, on the other hand, I think kind of resents the fact that I'm constantly around now, and while she's nice, there's an edge of snarky/sarcasm that I've picked up on. Most of it is remarks that revolve around the trope that men are inept, helpless around the house, and that they need a woman behind them to take care of them/everything. That might be the case with Gretchen and her husband Whitmer. I know Whitmer on a surface level. He's a cop, nice enough dude, easy to talk about sports and stuff with. However, he seems to me to not be very inclined to do housework, fix anything, read anything, or do anything productive besides drink beer and earn a paycheck. But that's just me judging. I, however, already owned a house before I met my wife that was always kept up and clean. I did my laundry, cooked for myself, made my own appointments, managed my money, and got where I needed to be on time, etc. Granted, I did much less of the housework when my wife stopped working, but I still pulled my own weight. I generally have always taken care of the family finances, managed the family calendar, taken care of the yard/pool, cars, house repairs when not on deployment, and helped with whatever my wife was doing on any day that involves chores. My last assignment in the military was managing scheduling maintenance on 15 aircraft and was responsible for the care, feeding, and career progression of the almost 300 technicians and mechanics assigned to me. I am not scared of doing laundry. I much prefer it to my old job. On to the event. Gretchen was over hanging out in the kitchen. Wife was doing breakfast dishes while they were talking. I was putzing in the garage, putting new batteries in my electric riding beer cooler. Passing through the kitchen, I gave the wife a pat on the back and a kiss on the cheek. Gretchen piped up with some comment about how lucky I was to have her. I responded with an enthusiastic, "Sure am. We make the best team ever," or something like that. Gretchen spouted off something like, "I think we all know who's carrying this team, and they probably don't get enough credit." What? Internal dialogue? Surprised face. I looked at the wife, who just kind of shrugged at me and tried to play it off. She changed the subject, and they started talking about something else. So I exited stage left and finished my battery installation and then rode my cooler around the neighborhood. That night I asked the wife about the odd interaction and specifically asked if she thought I wasn't pulling my weight around the house. She said that she has never complained to Gretchen about me, but has listened to Gretchen's complaints for a long time about old Whitmer. She never specifically told her about the kind of husband I am, because it would have made Gretchen feel worse about her situation. I made it clear, nicely, that leading Gretchen on, by omission, and having her think I'm a shitbag isn't right, and she should really stick up for me and sing my praises to her friends, like I would about her to my friends. So, fast forward 2 weeks, and I catch another stray from Gretchen. I walk through the kitchen carrying laundry. She kind of half-jokingly, half-not joking said, "That's a first," and giggled at my wife. I gave my wife a look and waited about 10 seconds for her to stick up for me. When nothing happened, I left. 10 minutes later I came back. "Honey, did you make an appointment for Kamala's sports physical?" Wife, sheepishly, "No, you did. Did you add it to the shared calendar?" "No, you did." "Okay, I forgot." Gretchen, how does Whitmer keep track of the family appointments? Gretchen kind of looked at me as she processed things. No reply. I left, came back a few minutes later and repeated the process with the meal plan and grocery shopping. Popped in a little later and had the same conversation about some bills I took care of. I had about 10 more subjects teed up that I never got to use, as apparently Gretchen started to tear up and left the house. The wife was pretty frosty with me later and said that I had gone too far. My reply is that if she, wife, would have taken care of it in the first place, it wouldn't have been an issue. Once I had to defend myself, it was bound to go sideways. Been a couple days now, and Gretchen hasn't answered my wife's texts or come over. My wife is still incredibly upset and wants me to reach out. I'm all about owning my piece of this nonsense. If there's an adult conversation to be had, I'll participate, but I'm not about to apologize for this nonsense and try to fix it on my own. Any advice from Reddit besides lawyer Jim Facebook would be appreciated.